What is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage, and I got some more news from my inside sources at Stellantis that kind of threw me for a curveball. Now, in a previous video, I talked about the possibility of Antonio Filosa, probably saying his name wrong, Tim Kuniskis, or possibly Ralph Giles taking up the mantle of CEO at Stellantis. Well, according to my inside sources at the executive team, it's going to go one or two ways. It looks like either Antonio or Tim could end up becoming the CEO of Stellantis, and Ralph Giles becoming the CEO of a newly formed company, as they would split Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram off of the 14 brands at Stellantis. Now, this is just discussion. They haven't filed any paperwork yet, or made any necessary moves to form the new company as of yet. This is just discussions within the board on how they can avoid issues with EU emissions, because even though some of the vehicles that they will sell here in the United States won't be sold in Europe, it still counts against them in Europe for vehicles that they sell as a conglomerate, which kind of sucks if you ask me. But with Germany now saying, hey, this emission thing is stupid, like we're literally hurting ourselves to be able to compete against China and the rest of the world. Why are we doing this? I think it's only a matter of time when the economic powerhouse of Europe says, hey, this ain't working. we got to do something different here. I could see a change happening in Europe where those emission standards get pushed back an extra 5 or 10 years, most likely. But if it doesn't happen in a timely order, I think that the discussions that are going on right now at Stellantis in terms of breaking Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram off of Stellantis, like they still own the company, right? They would still own the company. It's no different than Ferrari. If you look at the board of directors for Ferrari and Stellantis, you'll go, damn, these are the same people. It would be the same thing for Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. It just would be its own autonomous company, but owned probably wholly by Stellantis, right? Or the same investors, same people. I don't know how they specifically they would make that work, but they made it work for Ferrari. So I'm not seeing much of a difference or change here if they did that with Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Now, the interesting part was, even if they don't split it off, they're talking about possibly Ralph Giles actually being in the running, even if they don't split off Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, which I found that very interesting, because now, I have several sources at the executive level there. So one of my sources are saying, hey, they're really liking Antonio, and they're probably going to go that direction after the discussions with the BMW executive kind of didn't work out for what they had a vision for the company, probably similar to what Carlos Tavares had. And Antonio, while he did turn around South America and made it profitable for the company, I don't know if he's suited to, and I know he's the Jeep CEO, and I know he's the Chief Operating Officer for North America. I just don't know if he's suited to bring Dodge back to pre-dumbass stuff from Carlos Tavares. I don't know if he's suited to be able to do that job. But it will be interesting to see if it's Tim Kuniskis or Antonio Filosa, or if it's Ralph Giles. I think if I had to pick, I'd much rather see Tim Kuniskis taking over the helm, kind of coming back and saying, I told you so, and now we're going to do it my way. But I wouldn't be completely opposed to Ralph Giles, knowing, he's designed pretty much everything we've seen coming out of there, head of design. But I don't know if he, being head of design, would be able to get the grip on the company. I know the public would be happy as hell to see it. I just don't know if it's the best move for the company. You know what I'm saying? But nobody cares what I think. And they also don't care what you think. We're just going to have to sit back and see. But it was definitely interesting information for me to hear that Giles is being considered. As well as Antonio. And they're still having friendly conversations back and forth with Tim Kuniskis. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. And if they split Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram off from the other 10 brand, it'd be, instead of 14 brands, 10 brands once they do that. It'd be very interesting to see how that happens. But I digress. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Who do you think the next CEO is going to be? Do you think it's going to be Tim? Do you think it's going to be Ralph? Or do you think it's going to be Antonio? I'd love to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Or do you think it's going to be somebody else? Never know. Anyways, until next time, thank you guys very much for watching. I truly appreciate it. And as always, stay petty, my friends.